And I'm gonna go ahead and start this tutorial by showing you how I actually draw a head if I'm tasked with drawing a head. So I'm gonna go ahead and start right away. When I'm usually drawing a head, I start off with a circle. You're gonna find a lot of people telling you this. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, really. There is no person who's perfect with all proportions, and so you have to take it easy and practice how to draw the head. And depending on where you want, if you want them to look on this side, you have to draw your center line towards that side. If you want them to look on this side, you have to draw your center line facing that side. And if you want them to look straight dead up, you in the eye, straight up, you have to draw the center line right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this, move it on the side just for reference, scale it down and move it on the side just for reference. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring my pencil and restart a new one. So let's try to draw a ball here, and you can see it's all fitting into each other because in the first animations in the first prompts we drew a ball. So now we shouldn't have a problem drawing a ball. So I drew a ball, and I'm gonna make my face look off to the side a little bit, not all the way on the side, but I'm gonna make him or her. I don't even know if I'm drawing a male or female, but I'm gonna draw a female at this point. I'm gonna make her face off to the side a little bit, so I'm gonna put my center line right there on the side a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and indicate where the cheeks are supposed to be. So they're gonna go around there and around this way on this side. So you can see since it's sliding on this side, one thing that I want to talk about though is when you're drawing these center lines. Actually, let me redraw this. When you're drawing the center lines on your ball, it has to feel like it's a form, it's a ball. So the center line is not going to be straight up like that, especially now that we're making the emphasis on the side. So it's going to be going around this form. Think about it as a sphere, not a circle, a sphere with a little bit of foam on it. So it's going to be going on that side a little bit like that. And now you're going to be drawing the cheek on that side, and it's also going to have its center line going on it like that. Think about it like it has form. And the jaw line is going to be coming from this side. So this side is going to be a little longer because she is looking away from us. So it's going to be a little twisted like that a little bit. And pay attention to how these are going around my forms. They're going around my forms a little like that. And this is where we're going to have our chin. And so now we're going to start mapping out our face. And we're going to start putting the features of the face in. So the features of the face, we're talking about the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the hairline, where we're going to indicate all those. So now we're going to go ahead and carve off the temple area. So the temple area is usually around there, and it's on both sides because humans have two temples on either side of the head. And we're going to go ahead. Remember, our eyes have to be like in the middle of this entire thing. From here top to the bottom, midsection is where our eyes are going to be. So our eyes are going to be located like around here. And so, including the brows, because the brow goes with the eye, we're going to mark off our eyes to be around here. Around this area here is going to represent our eyes. And the nose, of course, because remember the nose, the bridge of the nose is in between the eyes, so which means the nose is going to be around here and our mouth is going to be around here. And this is our map of the head drawing. And you can see where it fits into the temple and the eyes here, and then this feeds into the jaw, goes down this way. And at the back of the head, remember, your ear is going to be in between the eyes. It's going to be in between the eyes and the mouth. So your ear is going to be sitting around here. But remember, it has to sit at kind of like the mid of your temple right here. So your ear is going to sit around here. So if your ear sits around there, and even if you're drawing a cartoon head, you have to remember that you have to know a little bit of anatomy in order for you to be successful. And remember, your jaw line usually comes out of the ear and it goes down, and then it comes all the way into the chin. So now you can see we're starting to be successful here by blocking off where we want our sections of this guy to be. And this has to be opposed on this side as well and come into the mouth and into the chin groove here. So this is going to be where our lips are going to sit. This is going to be where our nose is going to sit. And bridge of the nose. And then you have the brows going off this way on both sides. And then you have the eyes sitting inside the sockets here. So we're going to draw big kind of anime eyes here for her. So they're going to be sitting in there, about there. And then we're going to have this coming off of this. A little like that, roughly. And then you have the hairline. And we will carve off hair, maybe we'll give her bangs, or we may give her a ponytail to go with it. It will be showing off a little bit on the side. And then of course we have to give her a neck, which will be longer a little bit, and then carve off the shoulders. So you can see we already have her carved out a little bit. Now what's going to happen, I'm going to go ahead and add a new layer, and I'm going to knock the opacity of this one down a little bit. Now that I know where my proportions are going to be sitting, so I'm going to go ahead and lower that one down a little bit. And I'm going to go back on now on my top layer and map it out a little bit better. Now that I have kind of a little bit of some information now on there that I want to, go off of. It's good to know exactly what you want to be drawing and some idea of how you want your person to look. And so now we're going to go ahead and start mapping in a couple of things that we already know where they're supposed to be going. So since it's going to be kind of like anime-ish, let me see, I'm on the right layer, anime-ish kind of style, we're going to go ahead and give them kind of an anime nose. And the lips are supposed to be going in here. So we're going to go ahead and draw a little bit of a lip going on this side like that. And of course our eyes, we're going to give her, remember, so depending on your style of drawing, but this is going to be a little bit into the anime side. So we're going to give her very, very huge eyes coming all the way to the bridge of the nose. And carving in here a little bit. And if you want, you can draw along. I'm going to mark off where I want the brow to be as well. And as I do that, I'm going to do that on this side as well. So I'm going to go on this side and also try to map it out a little bit, where I want the brow to be and where I want kind of the eye to sit. And the way I draw my eyes, I usually make them kind of huge up top. And then make them a little elongated down this way. So I'm gonna give her those huge anime eyes. You can see even the one on her right that is supposed to be sinking in her face a little bit is still huge. Putting perspective into motion here, making the eye farther away from me a little bit smaller. I still have it huge, bigger than a normal perspective human would be. And so you can see now it's starting to come out, and we're going to pull these up so we can give her a little bit of a smile here. So this is going to be off like this, and this is going to come over here like this, like so, targeting a little bit where the nose is supposed to be cutting off there. And of course, now that we know where our jawline is supposed to be, we're going to carve it in a little bit so we don't give her strong jaws like a man. So it's going to be kind of a slanted jaw like that. And then give her kind of like one of those pointed kind of like chin and carve this in a little bit. Don't overpronounce the cheekbone, especially if you're doing a female character. If you're doing a female head, a female character. So this is supposed to be corresponding with this right here. This blush here is supposed to be corresponding with this blush here. And we're going to make it a little like that. And it will carve off into the hair. I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm going to concentrate on the features here on her face first. Then going into that. And of course, I want her ear to be carving up a little bit from here. And I'll hide it inside the hair a little bit there as well. And now I can start to kind of indicate where I want the hair to be. I want the hair to be going a little bit. I'm going to give her a little bit of a few bangs over there. I want to show a little bit of the ear coming through. So I'm going to take this all the way to the other side like that. And of course, I'll have some bangs cut across her head a little bit, coming a little bit maybe into her eye and on this side as well. And remember, today's practice for animation prompt, you just have to draw a head in any style that you want or any style that you can afford to draw. So I'm going to go ahead and give her a little bit of more hair on this side. Hair coming over on this side as well. More hair coming over that way. And I'm not thinking about what kind of character I'm drawing, but as I draw, I start to get a little bit of I start to know my character a little bit. Now I'm starting to think maybe I want her to be a villain, and that way I'll have to create a suit kind of for her. And as I'm drawing, I'm thinking about what type of character that I want her to be. I want her to have a little bit of evil eyes maybe, and then I think about that. Or I want her to have a happy smile. I think about all that while I'm creating the character. But most of the times, I start drawing out without even knowing what type of character that I'm drawing. And I just go with it. And at the end of it all, I create, a different character. I start giving him the character and the posture and the behavior, and I start thinking about the name and all that stuff while I'm drawing them at the same exact time. And you can see now this is probably a mad scientist or something like that. Let me give her a long neck and give her some of those raised little bit of shoulders, and then bring them down. She's kind of bony, and I like that. And it's starting to come to life. So if I turn off that, you can see what I have here for now. It's starting to come to life. The head is starting to come to life facing off on the side. And these big eyes that I want to give her, I want to give them big eyeballs. Big ass eyeballs like that. With her looking off in the distance. And you can go ahead and perfect everything in there as you go along. So you can see this type of face will be easy for us if we decide to do this later on for the head turn for tomorrow's exercise. We can just start with her looking off at the side like that, and then maybe draw the other side of her head and make her turn, like the head around. Oh, I actually thought about something. I could probably give her this side, I don't know what you call them, but hair tied on both sides like this instead of a ponytail. And you keep experimenting and experimenting to see exactly which one comes out, nice for you. So I could probably decide to give her hair coming off of her head from the side like that. And on this side it goes that way. So it's practicing the head, and you don't just jump into it right away and know exactly what you're doing. So you have to keep experimenting over and over and over again. And when a drawing is not going good, don't be afraid, guys, to start again. That's how you learn. And don't be frustrated, because most of us, when you draw something and you feel like it's not working out, most of the times we get frustrated. You terminate all of it and then just say, you know what, it's gonna happen, I'm gonna start afresh. And don't be afraid of starting again. Instead of just terminating it and run away from it and never draw again, it's better to just start afresh. And there you go. That looks a lot good. So that's good for a sketch. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this off as well and add another one and continue practicing. And this time I'm gonna draw a different kind of stylish. So as always, I'm gonna start with my circle. And this time I'm gonna make it a simple cartoon, something that will be easy for us to do the head turn. But still, I'm gonna make him, this time let me make him face right in the middle. So everything is gonna be proportional. Everything is gonna be proportional. I mark off where I want the eyes to be. That's how I start for every single face that I draw, even if I'm making portraits. I mark off where I want the nose to be and where I want the lips to be. And now I start looking for the sockets of the eyes. So I start marking off where I want the eyes to be. And they come in all the way to the bridge of the nose. You have to make sure this distance is almost one eye wide. So this is how you divide it. And that will be your face right there, especially for a face that is looking straight up at you. So this is a little bit big over here. And then we mark off the lips. And a little bit of a gap here in the chin. And we're gonna give him the hairline. And it depends. So you may want them to wear a hat or do something like that. You have to put all those into consideration. So let's give him this kind of haircut like this. And of course the ear will start from here and go around here. And then the jawline will come off of that and cross in. So we have to practice all kinds of heads, because tomorrow we have a big task coming up where we have to draw the same exact head, but it's turning. It's supposed to be turning. And so today we're just creating this head, but tomorrow we have a task of animating it. And so we have to put all that into consideration. Now is our chance to practice how to draw a perfect head, because when you start redrawing the same head and it's supposed to be seen in different directions, animating away, then you know it starts to get a lot harder if you didn't do a lot of practice on this at this level. And so you can see we had that too. And usually what you have to put into consideration is the hair has to stand off of the skull a little bit farther this way. So it has to be out a lot more than where the skull is. And as you start to draw, you start to give him character and think about what you want him to do or what you want him to be. So a head like this will be easier for us to draw another head to make him face this side and face this side, and lower this down a little bit, the middle down a little bit, trying to prepare for us for doing a head turn for tomorrow. I think I have time to draw one more, so I'll knock this down and I'll create another layer, and I'll go on to this layer number 4 to create one more. And practice is perfect. The more you draw is the better you're gonna get at it. Is the better you're gonna get, guys. And so this one we're gonna draw with more cartoony, so we're not gonna concentrate much about where the proportions we want them to be, but we're gonna concentrate more on making him, just a fun cartoon. Give him a nose. Let's make him kind of sad, so put his mouth on the side a little bit and make him a little bit sad, and he has this patch on his eye, maybe for a villain or for a superhero, and his eyes are just these 2 black dots, and we're not gonna give him anything on his head. We're just gonna give him a round head. This would be the simplest head to do, especially for a head turn. And all these, you can actually blink these eyes. You can do anything with them. For example, let me try real quick to blink these eyes. Copy, paste over. And the next one, oops, that's too big. Get the eraser. Make it hard enough, but also small. 5 points is good. Cut this off. And copy, paste over, cut those off a little bit more. Copy, paste, cut those off some more. And cut down as well. And the last one, copy, paste. Make him blink for real now. And when I play what I have, you can see he attempts to blink in just a few frames on there by just erasing and, deleting. And you can make his mouth probably turn a little bit. He's a little surprised towards the end of the blink. So we're going to go over here and start to open his mouth up a little bit. And this is what I do for practice, guys. That's what I usually do for practice. Let me copy this and go paste it all the way on frame 6. And I'm gonna bring this still. So that's how I practice my animation, guys. And see, things start to come to life slowly by slowly. And so that's how I've been practicing drawing the head. I don't think I can record all of it for you guys, but that's as much I can do for now. And what's going to happen is tomorrow, when we're creating some kind of head, we're going to create, say, our sketch like this, and then we'll feed it in, we'll ink it, and then we will. I have some videos I actually did of creating a scratch from of creating an animation from, I mean, a character from scratch. If you want to go there, I drew heads that are detailed, that I colored, that I inked and colored. And if you want to take a look at those, I'll leave the links to them in the description. But I'm bracing for tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be drawing and animating this head. We're going to be giving him a head turn. And tonight's idea is to figure out what type of head or what type of animation we're going to be making, and then we're going to be drawing him and giving him that head turn. So that's all going to happen tomorrow, but today was just practicing how to draw a head or how to come up with a character from scratch, and that's from the animation prompts. So tomorrow, be ready guys, we're going to be doing a head turn, but for today, that was it. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again in tomorrow's video. Bye bye for now.